And Tammy, on that line, I would appreciate if you help us clarify, reports that the United States has redirected some of the promised defensive weapons from Ukraine. Well, supposed to go to Ukraine, but they redirected to the Middle East. Is that accurate?
I can't speak to that. That is not something that, whether it is or is not happening, it's a decision that is clearly one based in national security if it's happening, and certainly a diplomatic framework that, if a decision has been made, is not something I'm going to remark on here at the podium.
Maybe I can ask one more bigger picture question, Tammy.
No, that's going to be it. We're moving along here. I want to get as many people as I can in today. Yes, sir.
Last week, Pakistan's all-parliamentary delegation led by Bilawal Bhutto Zardari was here. Did he had any meeting the State Department, and also has U.S. received any commitment or assurance from Pakistan that they will they will take action against terrorists working from this?
Well, I can tell you that State Department officials, including Undersecretary for Political Affairs Alison Hooker, met with the Pakistani parliamentary delegation during a visit they had to Washington last week. She reiterated U.S. support for the ongoing ceasefire, as you might imagine, thank God, between India and Pakistan. They also discussed important issues to the bilateral relationship, including counterterrorism cooperation. So that meeting occurred. We also know that Deputy Secretary Landau met with the Indian parliamentary delegation last week, and he also reaffirmed the United States' strong support of India in the fight against terrorism and strategic partnership between those two countries.
Did you receive any assurance from Pakistan that they will take action against terrorists?
I am not going to discuss the details of those conversations.
Also,
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any updates on the temporary pause on scheduling new interviews for student visa applications? Is that still in effect?
I can tell you, of course, and that's a good question because there's so many other conversations about visa restrictions. I do believe that we are in the process, and I don't know if Tommy, we might have to take this back, I know last week that we were in the process of indicating that it would be very soon and that people should start looking for those spaces to open up regarding appointments. Nothing has changed in our encouragement still of people to apply for those student visas. This was a matter of making sure that the process that we were expecting of consulates and embassies was proper when it came to what we expected them to be able to vet for. And that process, we were told, would be rapid. And I think at this point, what I can reassert here is that people should watch for those spaces to be open, should continue to apply. This is not going to be a lengthy or an ongoing dynamic. It was meant for a specific, almost an administrative adjustment. And I would hope perhaps we can go back and get more on this, but I think that that's where it stands, and perhaps on Thursday I can get even something more specific for you on the record. And another reminder to the people watching at home, when I say we're going to take something back, it means that we're going to get an answer to that question for the reporter and get it right back to them as well. And so that'll also help us for the next briefing also. Afghanistan, yes ma'am, Afghanistan. Afghanistan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Let's keep this in order, please. Let's go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As you know, Afghanistan situation is still critical, but different people, different diplomats like Zal Khalilzad, former ambassador in Iraq and Afghanistan, he has a positive idea. But unfortunately, yesterday there was a war started, and Taliban claimed that this is from the ISIS. Number one, do you think it's still ISIS is still active in Afghanistan? And my second question is still some Afghan who was SIV and P1 or P2 left behind in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran. Do you have any update for them to come to the United States, please?
Well, first, I can't speak right now on the internal dynamic of what's happening in any problem between people or claims about ISIS being active and violence that was ensuing, but let's take that back and see what that is. I do know that for the visa restrictions and Afghanistan, that there is, for the SIV visas, the proclamation that was used announcing this states that Afghan special immigrant visas are accepted. I'll say exempted from the suspension of entry to the United States. Consular processing of Afghan SIVs, including Afghan SIV interviews, continues at U.S. embassies and consulates around the world.